Hello. I was looking back at my older videos and I realized I haven't recorded since I don't know, since I came back from Vietnam and wisdom tooth removal. And I was meaning to do a Vietnam recap, but I think it's been so long I literally forgot most of it except for some important parts. Important. So we're gonna skip over that until I remember again, which is probably not likely because as time passes, obviously your memory's gonna you know, remove itself, disintegrate. I don't fucking know. One of them words. Obviously, dissipate. Ah, that's probably the word. That's probably the word. Well, anyways, well, my semester is done. And school year is done for now, and I get to chill out for the summer. JK, I'm not gonna chill out. I don't know. My parents want me to get a job, and I'm kind of I just want to fucking chillax, man. I know that working is a part of being an adult, but at the same time, I'm so drained from school and everything like that. And I don't know if I can justify another break, you know? It would be nice to have kind of a side gig that I do, but at the same time, I just don't want to do customer service again. It's just the more I think about it, the more I just want to rip my eyes out and tear out my vagina. I don't know what it is, but just thinking about it just makes me want to self mutilate, and that's probably not a good thing. I don't know. Just trauma from working at a fucking Dairy Queen. I don't know. Dairy Queen fucked me up. Oh yeah, new hair. It's supposed to be a little bit more pink, but it's been a couple of washes. Okay, I do take showers. If you guys didn't know. And oh, a bob moment. I actually kind of want it shorter. I don't know. I feel like whenever I look at older photos of myself, I'm like, oh my god, my hair was so nice. I don't know why I cut it. And then I remember how much hair I was losing and how much maintenance it was and just how much I didn't like having long hair. Now that I have shorter hair, it's I don't know, it's way more comfortable for me. Just having just this. If it was a little bit up here, I'd be like, oh my gosh, but I feel like this is the comfortable length. And this is I feel like I have my hair out most of the time, so you guys probably couldn't even tell I had decently medium hair. I had super long hair when I was younger in quarantine, because well, I was meaning to get my hair cut and then and then I just kept on letting it grow because I didn't want to fuck it up too much. I only cut off the dead ends and shit like that, and it just got to a crazy length. I wish I can show you guys. Maybe I can put it up here somewhere. I don't know. And as you can see, my walls are barren. I am sitting at home currently. I've been meaning to make my dad paint my walls, but I've just been cooped up in my room, and he's been working, and so we've both been on different schedules. So there hasn't been a time where it lines up for the both of us where it works perfectly. So hopefully he can do that tomorrow, maybe, and I can finally start moving my stuff from my apartment back down to my house and then get everything situated, because that's what I've been really, really fucking busy with. Not busy, but I've been really preoccupied with. It's the only thing that's on my mind. I had to cancel plans because I get super hyper fixated on a thing that I'm doing, and I'm if I don't do it now, something horrible is gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be able to do it ever. That's just how I think. I don't know why I think like that, and that's why I do a lot of impulse things, like going to college. College was not one of those things that I thought out really well. I was just kind of I'll just do it, and that's probably one of my more expensive impulse buys or impulse doings. But yeah, what the fuck was I talking about? But yeah, so we're gonna move everything back down. I'm thinking of doing a blue wall, just a pastel blue. My dad, when I told him, he's like, "The fuck are you doing? You're a grown ass adult. You're 20 and you want a colored room? You're sick." And I'm like, what's wrong with a little bit of color? What the fuck? Anyways, he attacked me that day, but he still was like, I'll paint your room, but that's weird. He's like, you're a weirdo, and I'm like, okay. Just kidding. He didn't dog on me like that. He's just like, what the fuck? He's like, the fuck, you want a blue or pink room? Are you a kid? And he told my fucking family in Vietnam this, and I'm like, okay, never that serious, father. But he's still gonna do it, so hopefully he gets around to that. Obviously I can do it too, but I feel like I'd fuck it up somehow. I don't know. I always end up fucking things up, and then you have to redo it, which takes more time. And I'm like, if my dad can do it right the first time, why would I do it the first time, fuck it up, and make him do it a second time, you know? So just like the master dude's work, he painted all the house, all of the house. So, you know, he knows what he's doing. And the other thing I've been really preoccupied about is not just like the room, like moving in and everything. I'm currently working on some poster designs for my room. I decided that I don't want to purchase posters when I can make them. I realized that now that like I have the ability and like the skill to create posters, I'm like, what the fuck am I going out buying like these posters when I can just fucking make my own and be more happy with the designs? Like, it never clicked to me. I don't know why, but like it just never clicked to me that I can make my own posters. Like, obviously I knew about the process of creating your own posters, but I just never really thought about creating my own posters for my own personal use. You know, like, I don't know why that never like clicked. I'm like, Quinn, you really like to draw and you really like to do graphic design, and those two things like go into making a poster. Like, I don't know what the disconnect was, but suddenly like everything just clicked, and I've been like cranking out posters like crazy. I've made like 4 so far, and I'm planning on making a 5th one, and I've given myself like a deadline because my school does printing, and now I'm not going to say it's cheap printing because it's not, because it's printing at the end of the day, and if you're printing a poster size, it's going to be like $5. But let me tell you, that's way fucking cheaper than going out to like fucking not Best Buy, Office Max, or like any like CVS, or like any other like really like conventional printing process. Because I checked it out like on CVS, I think, and it was like almost $20 or some shit, and I was like, yeah, $20 for one, when I can get like fucking 5 done for like, I don't know, like, what's 5 times, I don't know how much it's going to be, but you know what? Like, I can get 5 done within that same amount for one poster. So one poster is like $20 or something. So I can get like 5 posters made for $20. And that's, you guys might be like, oh my God, that's so expensive. Like, no, the fuck, that is super fucking cheap. And it's on like that satin paper, really good fucking quality paper. So that's that. So I'm gonna have to, and since the printing at school is gonna end soon, because printing does not go on into the summer, so I have to make sure I get that done before the school year ends, which is in 2 days. So I have 1 more day to create a poster, and I'm still debating on what poster to make, because I kind of have a theme I want to do, but I also want to make them really distinct and unique. I made a Chief Keef one that I'm really kind of giddy about because it's really fucking funny to me. I'll show you guys once I'm completed. It will go on the wall somewhere. I don't know. And then I made a Pierce the Veil one. I made Korn and South Park. And I'm still debating on the last one. I've been debating on whether I should do like a really like a group that I'm really passionate about, because I still want to stick to music. I think the only outlier was South Park, because I realized that I don't really have a lot of South Park merch despite being like a big fan of it, and I realized it's because it's fucking hideous. It's for like the Redditors, and I'm not a Redditor, okay? I'm a girl. Just kidding. There's girls on Reddit, but you know what I mean. And so yeah, I decided to create something about that, and it's really, it's catered to my taste. If someone else saw it, they'd probably be like, that's gross, and I'll be like, okay, but it's catered to my taste and it fits my room aesthetic. So but for the 5th one, I'm still like mulling it over. Like, I was starting the design earlier today, and I was initially gonna do like a Drain Gang, Blade, Eco, and Young Lean, and whatever the fuck, Thai Boy. But then I was like, I don't really know if I want like that in my room. I don't know. Like obviously you can change out the posters every now and then, but it's gonna be a while until I can get the posters like reprinted out, because school year doesn't start until like September. So I don't know. Obviously I can just like print out like 4 posters. I wouldn't like be too like mad about that, but I don't know why my mind is like stuck on the number 5. Like, at first you've stuck on the number 4. I was like initially just gonna do 4, and then for some reason my mind is like, you have to do 5, and I'm like, I don't know why I have to do 5. Like, there's nothing telling me I have to do 5, but something like in my brain, it's like telling me that I have to do 5, and I'm like, I guess I'll do 5. Like, I don't know why I have to, but I guess I will. And so that's that. hopefully I can get it done by tomorrow, because that's when I'm planning on going out to get it printed, because I have to drive all the way up back to my school. I've done that like fucking 3 times now, and I'm like so fucking sick and tired of it. I can't even like describe to you how like mad I get when I have to drive up to Minneapolis. But it's a trek that has to be done, and I'm an independent motherfucker, and that's just how it is, you know. And did I ever update you guys? I turned 20. I feel like I just skipped over that. Yeah, I turned 20 like in April. So that's that. That's when I got like this big chop and dyed my hair, because I was like, let's do something funky for my 20s to introduce myself. And then next year when I turn 21, it's not gonna be any different, because I don't drink that often. So it's kind of like, what's the diff? I don't know. There's really no diff. It's just me being me, but more adultish. But yeah, so that's current life updates. I'm still crocheting. I can show you guys like my big ass haul over here. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of moves, not really good moves, but yeah. What else I have to update you guys about? Yeah, other than that, I've just been kind of chilling, and like I said about the job search, I don't want to seem like a bum to you guys. Like, I know you guys are probably like, wow, you're a fucking bum. Like, you just sit around all day fucking making like art and shit, and you're just not doing anything with your time and this and that. And it's like, you guys, I'm telling you this right now, if I get back into the service industry, there's no telling what would happen to me in the future. Like, there's no telling. The last time I worked in the food service industry, like, I literally got like so fucking depressed and drained and just like mentally unwell. And like, I want to get a job so I can make money, obviously, like that's, and I want to support my family, meaning me and my parents. Like, my parents have been supporting me throughout college and stuff like that, which I'm super duper grateful for, and that's like a privilege that not a lot of people have, and I want to recognize that privilege, because, you know, like it's a big thing to ask my parents to pay for me. Like, that's like, it's a privilege, and it's something that I'm like really super fucking grateful for. And I'm really grateful that I'm able to afford college and not really worry about the cost like too much. Like, obviously there's like some costs I'm like, oh fuck, but I'm not like drowning in debt. I'm like to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I can continue with this, you know. Like, I'm super grateful to have this like support, but at the same time I want to, you know, like make my own income somehow, and find like a source of independence. Because now that I'm hitting 20, I'm like, damn, bro, like, I'm not making any moves. Like, the only moves I'm making is like moving back to my parents' house. And I don't know, like, that's about it. So I'm kind of like, maybe I should do more, and I want to do more. Like, there's a want, but like right now, like I am like right now I'm feeling like so much anxiety and like so much like fucking like mental turmoil, and I'm like I don't know why I'm stressing so much about getting a job. Like, I know that like I don't need to get a job. Like, I know like I don't need currently, like, I don't need it, but like it'd be nice to have that extra income, because my parents do want to go to Vietnam, and it'd be nice to find like more independence. But at the same time, I'm like, the more I think about it, the more it like stresses me out, to the point where I'm like, I would rather like coop myself up in the house and just like stay in my room and use like minimal resources. Like, that's what I would rather do. And it's giving Redditor, it's giving neat, it's giving introvert, and it's giving like fucking social, it's giving like social outcast. Okay, I get it. I'm giving like Redditor mod right now, but like, you have to listen to me, okay? Like, right now, like, I'm doing well for what I'm doing, okay? But if I add another aspect of like stress into my life, like, that probably would be my breaking point. I'll be so fucking honest to you right now. I'm like held on a string, and like just adding a job to that would just break that fucking string, and it's done for me. But I like I said, I still want like a source of income. But I don't know how I would do that. Like, obviously I could do commissions, but like, I don't really know if people like my art that much. I'll be honest with you. Like, it's art, but like at the same time, I'm like proud of my art. Obviously, if I wasn't proud of it, I wouldn't ever talk about it. But I'm obviously proud of my art, but I don't know if it's like the art that people want. Like, the things that people want me to draw, like things that are like personal to them, like things that, for their girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the fuck. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I guess I could do that. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to do my own shit. So I'm like, I'm trying to find a balance between that. And I also like I have like so many hobbies. I think I need to like trim down on my hobbies. But at the same time, I love them all so much. Like I'm super into crocheting right now, but I can't do that because I'm super into my other hobby, which is graphic design. But I can't really do a lot of graphic design because I'm also super into my hobby of cooking and baking. And then so art takes like a back burner or whatever the fuck you call it. And right now I'm just like scrambling, and like my parents are like putting a lot of, well, they're not putting a lot of pressure on me. Like I've tried to explain it to them to like the best of my ability, because they know that I'm like not like the most mentally stable person in the whole world. Like they've been through the ropes with me and shit like that. Like I'm just saying, man, it's not my insurance that the medical bills are getting charged to. So obviously they know that I'm not like the most mentally stable person ever. And my parents, well, there was like this instance in Vietnam where I had like a complete mental breakdown at a zoo, and my parents recently found out about that, and they were like, what's that all about? And I was like, I don't want to talk about that. So we're not going to talk about that here either, because I don't recall much of it because I was just crying for most of it. But yeah, so I'm not like the most mentally stable person in the world, obviously. And right now I'm trying to keep myself at like a homeostasis, or whatever the fucking word is, like where it's like super like even and equal. Like I'm not at my best, but I'm not at my worst. I'm like at a point where I'm like I'm living, and that's the best part of it. You know, I'm just out here like breathing air and doing the things I need to do. And that's the best I can do for now. Like right now I'm not at my happiest. Like I could be definitely more happy, but at the same time I could definitely be more sad. So, you know, like it's a trade-off. So that's where we're at right now. And yeah. And as for school, you know, everything went pretty well. I'm probably going to get a decent like GPA or whatever, but like ever since I've like joined ever since I've like gotten to college, I really don't care much about my grades as much as I should. Like wait, that's coming from like a 3 point like 7, 3.8 like student. So that's coming from someone in high school who like cared so much about her GPA that like I would like risk everything just to get like a 4.0. But nowadays I'm just kind of like, if I get like over a 3.5, like that's cooking. Because like anything less than that, and that means I gotta kick it up back to gear and like focus more on my academics. But like the thing is, like my life like is dictated around my academics. I don't know how to explain it, but like everything that I do surrounds my academic life. Like I don't surround my life around I don't like surround my academics around my life. I surround my life around academics. So whenever I get like an assignment or whatever I do, like I have to like make sure I get that done before I can socialize, you know? And that's something that like, I don't know. A lot of like for me, like I always feel a lot more calmer and less anxious when I know I have something out of the way. And that's probably why I like binge like all my projects like right away, because whenever my professors give them out, they're like, oh, you still have like a week or two to like complete this, and I'm like, no, I have to get it done like the second you give it to me. And that's something that I kind of want to stop. Like I know people, this is a habit that people want to have. Like people, like a lot of people are like, why do you always get things done? So no, they don't ask me that, but like they're always like, oh, I'm not like completed with my assignment. And I always feel so bad for being like, yeah, I'm done with it. So I'm like, oh well, I always like lie. I don't know why I do this, okay? Like this is like a full-on confession, but like I'm like one of those people that like are such overachievers, but like I like to downplay it, and I need to like amend that somehow. Like okay, example, so we had this book project that we had to do, and like all of my classmates were like, yeah, I haven't got like any designs, like I don't even know what stories I'm doing. Well, I literally had like all my layouts, like every single design choice like laid out, and like everything was just like completed, and I had to bought the paper for my book and everything. And like all of my classmates were like, yeah, I don't know what paper I'm doing yet, like I've been really behind, I really don't care about this project, and like I've just been super busy and stuff like that, and like I just this and that. And I'm like I like the more I think about it, like whenever I hear them talk about it like that, like it stresses me out for them. Like it stresses me out for them. Like whenever I listen to one of my classmates, like she's a super busy gal, and she's been like, you know, she's working, and she obviously has a lot on her plate. And like whenever I hear her talk, I'm like shaking with anxiety. I'm like, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you're living right now. I don't know how you're even showing up to class. Because if that was me, I would not even show up to class. I would be so anxious to pull up with nothing. So yeah, I'm like one of those people. So whenever anyone's like, oh yeah, like I haven't gotten anything done, I'm like sitting on the back burner. I'm like, I have like everything completed, like everything's printed, finalized, double checked, and shit like that. And I'm just like, oh yeah, so like I mean I have something, but like it's not really like completed. Well, meanwhile, it's like literally printed, sent in, submitted, and I'm just like, I don't know why I do that. Like it's so annoying because if that was me on the receiving end of that, when I'm like, oh I'm like stressed out, and someone was like, oh yeah, I haven't completed it, but like, and then I find out somehow that they have completed it, and I'm gonna be like, it's giving two-faced, it's giving fake, and I need to stop that. I need to stop that habit. I should just be like, oh yeah, I've completed it, but like whatever, like at least say that I've completed. I don't know, it really doesn't matter in the long term, but it just guilts me when I do it in the moment. So that's my issue with it. Like I don't know why I do that. I really, like, I've done that ever since I was in high school, and like because like I've always been like this. I've always been like super academically like anxiety, anxious, like stressed out. So I've always been on top of things. Like academically, like in my social life, not really. I really kind of put that in my back burner, which is probably why life could be a lot better. But at the same time, if I because like one of my lowest points is when I had the lowest grades in my life. I find that that's like a correlation that I've noticed within my life. Like whenever I have the lowest grades, it's when I have my lowest like mental health, and it's usually like my grades that cause my like mental health to deteriorate, and then my mental health like just kind of keeps on like rolling. So there's that. I don't know, I've been trying to work a little bit more on like giving myself more breathing room, but I've been like feeling super guilty about that too, like especially my parents. Like they've been like it's like it's not like they're like pressuring me, but they've been saying it like over and over and over, but not in like a harsh tone. They've just been saying it as like a suggestion for like these last couple of days, and it's just been like so much, and I'm just like, I don't know, I've been so anxious about it. I can't really sleep, and I'm like, I don't know, like I'm really anxious about it. I don't know why. I think I just need a nap or something. I don't know. Oh. But obviously, it would be really nice to leave the house more. It'd be really nice to leave the house more this summer instead of like being my agoraphobic self and like staying inside the house and doing zilch. But at the same time, like I get like super drained, like socially, like super easily. Like I'll go out for one day of the week, and I'm like, that's enough interaction for one day. Like I'm trying to build up more tolerance to being around more people, but at the same time, I just don't have the mental fortitude, and like I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like getting a job sounds like fucking hell right now, but I know I need to get a job within this recession era. Like my dad was like, you can like bake stuff and sell it off, and I'm like, I'm not too confident about my baking skills. Like it's good enough for me. Like a lot of the things I do, it's like good enough for me, but I don't really have that high of a standards. Like I'll eat out of the trash if like push comes to shove. So I don't really like I don't really I don't really like think that like my goods would sell that. Like whenever I make something, I'm like, wow, this is really good. But it's like it's really good in comparison to what I usually make, which is burnt shit. Like burnt dry shit. So I'm like, so maybe perhaps like that's probably not a move. I don't know. Like you never know if you don't try it, right? So I'm like I'm open to the idea, but at the same time I need to like kind of right now I'm focusing on my graphic design shit, which is designing my posters. Like it's a goal that I've given myself to kind of finish and keep myself a little motivated. And then once I get that completed, I'll start working on recipe development and see if I can get that ball rolling. Because my a lot of my family have told me that I probably should sell shit, but like the thing is like they've never really tried my food. Like it looks good, but like for me it tastes good as well. But I don't know what other people like. That's the anxiety of it all. You don't know if your food's gonna be received well by others. Because for me, I've always been like my parents don't eat my sweet stuff because I don't like sweet stuff. So it's hard for me to gauge like what is good and what is bad. And like whenever I bake, it's like at a really inopportune time. So like I never really get to like give my friends like the food because I'm making it like really late at night. And you know, and I'm like asleep in the day when they're like out and about. So like there's really no time to give to them. And most of the food I make is good upon eating. You know, like you have to eat it like as it comes out of the oven or else it's dookie. Um so that's also a thing. So I need to yeah, develop a recipe or like find something that like people like. I know like my dad wants me to make this like Vietnamese dessert. And apparently my aunt doesn't know how to make it, which is her problem. But I guess I'll try to make it and see how that is received. And then I've also been tinkering, keyword tinkering, with a tres leche cake. And right now, I found a decent enough recipe. Like it's really good to my expectations, but I want to like elevate it a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna try to experiment with that. Um, and just like more like I was also gonna do macarons, but the thing is, I just um I just need to finalize on a recipe because right now there's like two methods I'm like experimenting with, and I think I just need to get like a fucking thermometer so I can try out the Swiss method. I think that's what it's called. It's like where you like heat up the sugar and the I think you heat up the sugar and like the egg whites maybe. I don't remember. But like you heat up the sugar in some way instead of adding it in dry during the fucking dry mixing period. So I guess I'll try that out because I heard that gives a better rise, and I kind of want to get more like a better rise and better feet because the recipe I'm currently using uses the dry sugar method, and I mean it gets a decent rise and it gets like decent feet, but I kind of want is like you know, so we'll see on that on that. And what else? I guess cookies, but I don't know. Asian people don't really like cookies because right now I'm trying to think of the of like who would want my food, and right now it's mostly Asian people, so I need to think of recipes that Asian people would like. But I'm an Asian person, but I like to experiment with like different like cultures, and one of the cultures I'm like currently obsessed with is like is it Mexican? Sorry, my mouth is like super like filmy. This happens to me when I use like the brand Sensodyne or whatever the fuck. Like it gives like this like film in my mouth and it's super weird, but I need it because my teeth is like super sensitive. And my mom got me like this electric toothbrush, and like that shit is scrubbing, bro. Like this shit is scrubbing, and now I'm like brushing my teeth at the correct amount of time. And yeah. Anyways, I don't know why that was brought up, but yeah, that's a prospect that my dad brought up that I can sell my baked goods. But as I've said, I'm really anxious about that for some reason. Like I said, I'm a really anxious person, so there's probably something to be unpacked about that, but I really don't want to do that. So we're not gonna. And then I also, I don't know, my dad was like, why don't you help your mama at the salon? And I'm like, because I don't want to hang out with mom more than I have to. Like I feel like work is a place where my mom gets to escape from like me and my dad. So I don't want to infiltrate her like workspace and like fucking dookie it up with my presence. That's just how I feel. I haven't asked her about like the prospects of it all, so I don't really know. So what else? I think that's probably about it.